Let's read source 3 for the historical artifacts investigation. It's titled Uncertain Devices. But first, let's look at the central question to remind ourselves of the purpose for reading this source. Which sources are most reliable for learning about the dodecahedron? I'm going to read the attribution and then the headnote. That's where you learn what type of source this is and who wrote it and when it was written. Attribution. Modified from Surveying Instruments of Greece and Rome, 2004. Written by M.J.T. Lewis, published by Cambridge University Press. Headnote. M.J.T. Lewis studied classics at the University of Cambridge. He was an expert on industrial archaeology, which means artifacts used in industry. He wrote a book on surveying instruments of Greece and Rome. Surveying is measuring the land in order to make a map or plan. There, he mentions the dodecahedra in a part of the book called Uncertain Devices. I'm going to pause here. Take a moment to respond to the questions about the headnote and attribution in your packet. So pause and come back when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to read the source. Let's read what M.J.T. Lewis wrote in his book. One suggestion is that the dodecahedra were used for surveying. One historian wrote that the Roman surveyor would look through a pair of holes in the dodecahedra. He would hold the instrument far from his eye so that the circles lined up, so that he could see through the circles. He would then tell his assistant to hold a rod and to move far enough in the required direction for the rod to fill the opening precisely. The distance between surveyor and assistant would be the same as the length of the rod multiplied by the number of the holes. But many people do not agree with this suggestion. Most dodecahedrons do not have neat proportions. They do not have numbers written on the holes, and it would be simpler and more accurate to measure the distance by rope or rod. Now, go back and read the source yourself. And as you read, pause after each sentence and try to find sentences that begin with transition words or introductory phrases and think what key ideas come after transition words or introductory phrases.